Welcome back to There Is No America Without Erica, and we all need a little Erica in our lives. Imagine being a gun comedy guy on the internet, disappearing from most people's timelines for years, and then suddenly your name comes back because the federal government says your current content crossed the line from edgy internet technical videos into federal felonies. That is where we are with Dugan Ashley. His real name is Jordan Derrick. If you were around old school GunTube, you probably remember Carnicon, Weird Skits, Chaotic Rumor, Peak Old Internet, Energy Before YouTube decided every firearm related thumbnail was apparently the opening scene of the apocalypse. But this case is not about old comedy videos. This is about the explosive related videos he was actively making recently. And according to the federal government, those videos are now a part of a massive criminal case.
Energetic America.
Explosives aren't hard to make, guys.
Accelerate.
Now, before we get into this train wreck, support the channel by checking out onlytechnicalfans.myshopify.com. We've got gear like medical gear, mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, MREs when they're in stock, and all the stuff people suddenly realize they need 5 minutes after society starts acting like Walmart on Black Friday. All right, links down below. So here's the current situation. On May 12th of 2026, the DOJ announces charges against Jordan Derrick, also known online as Dugan Ashley. The charges included allegedly manufacturing explosives without license, allegedly possessing an unregistered destructive device, and the really spicy one, allegedly distributing information related to the manufacture of explosives. And that third charge is where things get constitutionally weird as hell, because the government is not just saying, hey, this guy made illegal stuff, they're also saying this guy taught people things. Now, obviously, there is a line somewhere. You cannot knowingly help somebody commit terrorism and then hide behind, bro, it was educational content. That's not how this works. But the legal issue here is how the government proves intent, because under federal law, it's not just you explain something dangerous. The government basically has to argue you intended for somebody to use the information in a violent federal crime, or you knew somebody would. And this is where it starts sounding absurd when you say it out loud. So let me get this straight. You could theoretically teach a room full of FBI agents how to make a bomb, and suddenly it's training, education, controlled instruction, probably with a PowerPoint presentation and still government coffee. But if you teach a room full of normal civilians the exact same thing, now suddenly prosecutors can start arguing, well, maybe you knew one of them might commit a violent crime someday. Okay, cool. Totally not terrifying at all. That is an insanely dangerous standard if courts are not extremely careful with it. Because the government's argument cannot just be, well, somebody bad watched the video later. If that becomes the standard, then basically every technical field on earth becomes prosecutable after the wrong person consumes the information. Gun videos, lockpicking videos, cybersecurity videos, drone modification videos, chemistry videos, hell, half of YouTube would immediately become potential evidence. The prosecution's position appears to be that Derrick wasn't just vaguely discussing chemistry or theory. They're saying he was allegedly demonstrating and instructing people step by step while allegedly manufacturing these materials himself. And according to the DOJ, the New Orleans attacker allegedly downloaded these videos. That attack killed 14 people and injured many more. So now the government is drawing a straight line between Derrick's videos and the attacker's conduct. And emotionally, a lot of people are immediately going to go, well, lock him up. But emotionally satisfying and constitutionally sound are not always the same thing, because once you start criminalizing knowledge distribution based on future misuse by a third party, you are walking into a minefield. The government is going to try to frame this as this wasn't education, this was criminal facilitation. The defense is probably going to frame this as you are prosecuting speech after the fact because somebody evil consumed the content. And that distinction matters enormously, because America cannot become a country where prosecutors look backwards after every tragedy trying to find a content creator to pin it on. That's not law, that's political grief management. And gun owners especially should pay attention here, because we already know how this pattern works. First, we're only targeting the extreme dangerous stuff. Then it becomes, well, maybe civilians shouldn't have access to this information. Then why did you teach that? Then why does the public need to know that? Then eventually the standard becomes, if knowledge makes the government uncomfortable, maybe it should be regulated. That slope gets slippery real damn fast. Now, to be clear, none of this means Derrick automatically walks. If prosecutors can prove actual criminal intent, actual knowledge, actual coordination, actual unlawful manufacturing, or evidence showing he intended these videos to facilitate violent crime, that changes the equation substantially. The First Amendment is not magical immunity for criminal conduct. You do not get to commit crimes on camera and then scream free speech like it's a cheat code. But at the same time, the government does not get to skip the burden of proof just because the facts are emotionally radioactive. And honestly, whether you personally like Dugan Ashley or not, one thing should be obvious here. Federal cases are not cheap. The government has unlimited resources, unlimited investigators, unlimited lawyers, and basically unlimited time. Normal people do not. So if you believe people deserve a competent legal defense instead of being financially crushed into a plea deal because the feds can outspend them into oblivion, there is a GiveSendGo fundraiser helping with legal expenses and helping his family get through this situation. I'll leave that link down below. Because regardless of where you stand on the allegations, nobody should want constitutional questions this serious decided by somebody who couldn't afford to properly fight the case. And that's what this case is really going to come down to. Not whether the videos were edgy, not whether the content was dangerous, not whether people online thought it was cool. The question is, can the government actually prove criminal intent tied to the distribution of information? Because if they can't, then this becomes a very dangerous precedent. A precedent where prosecutors can point at controversial technical information after tragedy and say somebody misused this, therefore the creator shares criminal liability. That should make people nervous, not because anyone supports terrorism, not because anyone wants explosive tutorials floating around online, but because constitutional protections are supposed to matter most when the facts are ugly and public pressure is high. That's when the courts are supposed to slow down and ask, did the government actually prove the elements? Not, does this case make people emotional? And right now, we are still in allegation territory. The DOJ has made serious accusations. Derrick is presumed innocent, and the biggest legal fight here is probably going to revolve around where the line exists between protected speech, dangerous technical instruction, and criminal intent. That line matters a lot because once the government gains authority in an extreme case, history shows they almost never keep that authority limited to extreme cases. That power already starts expanding. And if you think the same people who spent years trying to regulate hunks of plastic and metal won't eventually start trying to regulate information itself, you haven't been paying attention. Another thing that should concern people is the way this case is being framed publicly. The government is attaching words like terrorism and national security to the case immediately. And look, the New Orleans attack was horrific. 14 innocent people were killed. Nobody's minimizing that. But emotionally charged cases are exactly where constitutional protections matter the most because that is when people are most willing to throw standards out the window in exchange for feeling safe. That's how bad precedent gets built. Not during calm moments, during moments where everybody is scared and angry. And the danger here is if courts start treating information itself like contraband depending on who later consumes it, because then you are not regulating conduct anymore. You are regulating knowledge. And once governments start deciding which technical knowledge civilians are allowed to have, history gets real ugly real fast. That does not mean there should be zero limits. Again, if prosecutors can actually prove criminal intent, actual facilitation, actual unlawful conduct, or direct encouragement of violent crimes, then this becomes a very different conversation. But if the standard becomes somebody bad watched your content later, then basically every controversial educator, creator, or technical instructor in America is potentially one tragedy away from becoming a defendant. And yes, gun channels should absolutely notice that too. Because we've already spent years watching the government and tech companies slowly push the idea that civilians should not have access to too much technical firearm knowledge. Don't explain this, don't show that, don't demonstrate this, don't teach people how things work, don't make the content too instructional. And now suddenly we're staring at a case where instruction content itself is part of the criminal allegation. That should make people pause for a minute. Not because people support criminal activity, but because rights are supposed to survive ugly cases too. That's the test. The government has made serious accusations. Now they need to prove them with evidence, with actual elements, with actual intent, not with emotional headlines and guilt by association. Because if the government's actual standard becomes your content existed and a criminal consumed it, then the implications of that go way beyond one creator. That starts reaching into every technical subject on the internet. Now, before we go, support the channel by checking out onlytechnicalfans.myshopify.com. We've got gear, medical gear, mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, and practical products for people who understand that depending entirely on systems that constantly fail is probably not the best long-term survival strategy. Also, don't forget to use our Amazon link. And even when you click on that link and don't buy what's in our store, just because you clicked off that link from our channel, we're going to do the Amazon shopping you're going to do anyways. We get a little kickback from that. And it's free. And also, if you aren't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And until next video, guys, peace.